Ladies and gentlemen, greetings citizens all over the world. Can I please have your undivided attention for a few minutes? Because it's in your best interest. Look, who I am, where I come from is irrelevant right now. What's relevant to you is this. I've never been on a social media platform before in my life. I come from a whole different walk of life than what practically any other human being on earth has. They're facts, okay? Now, I've had a path in my life that 99.999% of people wouldn't even dare to take. But the way I came through here and the walk that I had happened for a reason. It wasn't by coincidence or by chance. Okay, it was by faith. What's very complicated to understand is that I'm recorded by the biggest think tank in the world as one of the biggest masterminds in the world. I can do things most people can't do. Now, I teach people to do the things that I can because people don't have faith in their own biological genes to use their natural genetic motor skills to do these things that I can. I can master my mind and move 7 times faster than the biggest think tank in the world. And I teach how you can do this because you're capable of doing it too. I've been declared dead 3 times, many mythological events, recorded as miracles in hospital. I explain each and every one of them because most people have no idea what a miracle is because they can't explain it. Now, when I came along here, I came to social media platform for the first time 3.5 years ago. Within 2 months, I had more than 20 million followers. I want you to listen to what I'm saying here because it's unheard of. It's very unheard of around the world. Over 20 million followers within a few months. There was a reason for that, a very dramatic reason. I've had 13 different pages taken down, many YouTube accounts taken down, being suppressed for a reason. They don't want you to know what your natural genetic motor skills are and how to use them. These are facts. So the whole world lives in brain-locked denial and the whole world are liars. The whole system's a lie. And they suppress the primary problem for climate. They're not even telling you. Yet they use that on mainstream media every day. The primary problem for climate is we strip from our 6 sense and we can't think straight. The whole world's in post-human stage with a high IQ that only makes them good at what they do, but in fact not intelligent. But they all think they are. We have voices in our mind, ultimately designed from extinction, declared by the top documents in the world. They live in brain-locked denial about it. Atheism thinks they're in their right mind, and they're not. They're in their wrong mind. They don't have faith in their own biological genes to use their natural genetic motor skills with their 6th sense in the most positive fields. They come to every conclusion with reasoning on reverse psychology. That's what they're suppressing from you. They went into brain-locked denial when this was reported in 1999. So they lied to you ever since. They've been lying to you non-stop. The whole system has, the social media platform system, the education, every single media system, every government, every authority in the world has been lying to you non-stop ever since. These are facts when they go into brain-locked denial and cannot face the primary problem of climate that we strip from our 6th sense through their educational system and their programming and their education on reverse psychology. Through an evolutionary theory that's self-explanatory. And to come to a conclusion with reasoning means that we think too much with our biological genes, disattached from our natural genetic motor skills. So we think mentally and psychologically with a high IQ. That only makes us good at what we do, and it's 5 sense and negative fields. So we think with that all the time that causes gene defects and mental disorders to go through the roof. I'll go into a lot of explanations about this. Escalating and accelerating non-stop. First of all, you have to understand something. Very carefully. Very dramatic carefully. There's no other human being on earth you will find anywhere on mainstream media or social media giving you the information that I do. Now, I'm not here to put tickets on myself. That's your mindset. With your selfish, egotistical, judgmental, competitive behavior, you're designed to do that. To be egotistical, to live in your own truth, in your own bubble, in your own comfort zone. And that's the tools you use most of the time. Because most people cannot handle the truth, can't face and can't deal with it. And that's a fact. People cannot handle the truth and cannot live in it. So they go into their own comfort zone in their own belief system with a voice in their mind. And they choose to do that and give consent to that in the mindset they live in. But when they can't think outside the mind with their natural genetic motor skills, and they don't have faith in their own biological genes to think outside the mind with their sixth sense, instinctively, then they don't even have faith in their own biological genes and the way they're designed. So when they don't use the tools that's organic with their natural organic motor skills, and they don't even have faith in it, they rely on the voice in the mind when they think critically on five senses and negative fields. So the voice comes into the mind to deceive them all the time. You convey feelings to thoughts from an outside influence of reality and explain your own biological language. You receive information from two outside influence, positive and negative. In your body cells, you're like an antenna. When your body repairs when you go to sleep, right? Your cells work together and repairs your body when you're not thinking. When you're awake, they do the opposite. Go into a lot of details about this. Okay, they're facts. It's not fiction. It's not a lie. It's reality. So right now, what's declared in the top doctors in the world is that practically every human being on earth, 93% die from stress-related diseases every day. Stress-related diseases. 93% of people take drugs to numb themselves because they stress out all the time. So they take drugs, whether it be happy pills, mental disorder tablets, or a graphene oxide drug delivery system in some sort of product or preservatives in their food, methamphetamine, drugs on the streets, illicit or not. They all take this product, one of these products with a drug delivery system to conduct with, because they can't conduct without. These are facts. So they conduct an outside influence of reality with a voice in their mind when they think critically. And the voice comes into the mind, ultimately designed to an extinction. On reverse psychology. Now, that's hard to fathom. But if you can't wake up to this, you never will. Then you're possessed by the devil throughout your life. And you're going to wish you're dead. Because no one ever dies. It's all by design. So when people are in stress, fear, anxiety, confusion, frustration, delusion, and paranoia, it's from the voice in the mind when you're fighting the devil inside your mind. So your mind will always play tricks and games and you always become your own worst enemy. And that's what you used to think with 95 to 99% of the time. Your mind's a mathematical computer to work things out. Your IQ's based on 98% memory, it's a memory box. So when you use that 95 to 99% of the time in 5% negative fields, you live in negativity too much. Negativity creates extinction because the voice in your mind is ultimately designed from extinction. It's light, power, deceiving, demonic, and when you convey feelings to thoughts and explain your own biological language, it sounds like you're talking to yourself, so you believe that. So you actually believe you're talking to yourself, but you're not. You're talking to personality without any moral instincts attached to you. Thinking instinctively is to think outside the mind. The light bulb idea. The light bulb idea, okay, is a picture that tells you 1,000 words that cannot lie to you. You can rely on that, but you don't. You rely on thinking too much with a voice in your mind. So you rely on the voice more than you rely on your own biological system. The light bulb idea is where the greatest ideas in the world come from. Okay, you can respond that 7 times faster. Like a child from 0 to 7 who masterminds a computer game between 3 and 7 times faster than an adult can. Pumped with adrenaline to be alert, like and aware, and has faith in his biological genes to use the outside influence of reality. That's 7 times more powerful with 7-fold wisdom and knowledge. Then he goes to school and the wheel falls off, and he becomes inverted to use a voice in the mind. Then he can only use 7 to 9% of his mind at any given time. Einstein could only use 11, but a mastermind can use 100% of his mind. And I'm one of the biggest masterminds in the world with experience, wisdom, and knowledge to educate this. That you can do what I can and more. The same as 0 to 7. By going back to your childhood and thinking outside the mind and have faith in your biological things to think instinctively because you're a mastermind. And when you learn to master your mind and continue to master your mind and not being educated so the mind's being mastered by a voice in the mind, then you can do things like Jesus can and more. Proven on documents all over the world. We are living evidence of that. So the whole system and every atheist in the world that lies all the time don't want you to have these tools. But we're recorded with the miracles in the hospital that can do these things like Jesus can and more. I've been dead 3 times. The miracles are there to prove it. Now, I'm on Shadow Ban with 2.5 million followers right now. My videos go viral. If you listen to John, one of my followers, he copies my videos and put them up in timelines. He gets 280,000 hits in a week. Right? He's not in Shadow Ban. Everyone who copies my videos and puts them out there, they reach the hundreds of thousands in no time. So if every one of you out there learn to copy my videos and set up platforms to get them out there, you'd be amazed how many people pay attention to us. We teach people to go back to their primal motor skills, to their natural organic motor skills, to think instinctively and have faith in their biological genes. So they can do these things and repair their genes, DNA, and immune system. The system don't want you to know. The education doesn't want you to know. Every atheist in the world, which is the majority of the population that dies from stress-related diseases every day, 93%, are beyond the point of return and they don't care about nothing but themselves and their marketing strategy. And that's every fact-check Googler, YouTube, and all these people in the whole world, right? They use the same inverted tools on reverse psychology and come to their conclusion with reasoning and think there's something special in the world. And they've got no experience, wisdom, and knowledge and don't even have faith in their biological genes, so they become evil all over the world. And most people are evil and using the evil tools, no matter what they say, no matter what comes out of their mouth. They live in a bubble in the comfort zone in their own truth. Disconnected from life, nature, and things in harmony with. Disconnected from loyalty, honour, respect, moral, morals, inspiration, encouragement. The care factor is dying all over the world, in case you haven't noticed. Immoral, unethical, and common decisions being made. Everyone on social media platform wants to make a name for themselves on the marketing strategy and better themselves to get attention. Can't even focus on the things that are being said on the video. They text all the time like trolls. Can't focus because of voice in the mind. When I make a video, the amount of people sit down and text and ask about other things, you can see the mind's controlling them. They can't even pay attention anymore. They're too busy texting with a voice in the mind. Now, it doesn't mean they're evil. It means the voice controls them. And they're oblivious to it at the same time. Totally oblivious to their own behaviour. When they do this, when someone's talking and teaching, they sit there and text like a troll and completely oblivious to what's happening in their mind. Totally oblivious to what's happening in their mind. 90% of people on social media platform behaves the same way. Totally oblivious to what's going on in the mind. Totally oblivious to what's going on in the mind. When the voice controls the mind to do these things. Texting is using 5 senses and negative feels non-stop. You cannot feel someone's voice instinctively and you don't know what page they're on. So people misunderstand texts all the time, argue, debate, conquer and divide. Because they use those tools and they choose to use those tools because they give consent to the devil in their mind to use those tools that deceives them all the time. It doesn't mean you're evil. It means you're very confused with the tools you use. We cure people from the human conditioning, and today you're in the post-human stage born in Revelation. That's funny, that was declared in 1999, and the government's avoiding this. The media system is avoiding this because atheists are inverted tools and come to their own conclusion with reasoning, with selfish, egotistical, judgmental, controlling, competitive behaviour. That's what an atheist does, and 93% of Western civilization that dies from stress-related diseases uses the atheist tools. No matter what they say they believe in, because their action speaks louder than words, no matter what comes out of their mouth. Action speaks louder than words. Never believe nothing you only half what you hear, but trust what you feel. They don't. They do the opposite. Now they use this part of the mind to think with 99% of the time and don't realise this is why they all become their own worst enemy, because the mind will always play tricks and games on you, because the voice will always control you in every decision you make. And that's why you suffer the consequences. That's why you take drugs to numb yourself. That's why you live in brain lock denial. That's why you live in your own truth and your own pedestal. That's why you use every single tool programmed with an evolution theory and scientific quantum mechanics, vibrations, fields, and frequencies. Where's the love? Huh? Every moment that you treasure, that you remember the most, are the moments you created with loyalty, honour, respect, moral, inspiration, encouragement, and that atmosphere. That's coded in your DNA as a loving, compassionate human being. They're the frequencies, they're the tools you have a relationship with, and the care factor's dying all over the world. Family, lovers, and friends conquer and divide, not using these tools because they become mental, judgmental, selfish, egotistical, and competitive. Where's the love? Where's the loyalty, honour, respect, moral, morals, inspiration, and encouragement? You want to tell me? When you replace it with every other tool that an atheist does, that's inverted, with those tools? We are the most instinctive human beings on earth that can repair genes, DNA, and immune system, and have biological genes. Proven on DNA studies and cellular study research. Those that's got more faith in their human instincts to think instinctively, they follow the right path, and they suffer the least mental disorders and are free from that. Being reborn is being instinctive, not mentally, and breaking free from that, from the voice in your mind. So when you think instinctively, you tune out of the program that you're in, that you use all the time. So when you think instinctively, you go back to your childhood, the same as 0-7, just like Jesus told you. Think outside the mind, you can do what I can and more. And these are facts. It's not fiction. If you don't have faith in your own biological genes to use your natural organic motor skills with your sixth sense, then you're in Baal's image and the negative fields. And there's no discussion about that. It's recorded in the top documents in the world by the top bowlers. The voice of the mind's ultimate sign from extinction. So you're possessed by the devil. That's in biblical history for thousands of years. People's got voice in their mind, are possessed by the devil. That's recorded in the top documents by the top physiologists and the top scientists and biologists in the whole world today. You're in post-human stage, war and revelation, and you need to resurrect humanity back in the primal state to be in their instinctive behavior, in their natural organic motor skills. Now, that's on documents all over the world, and that's revelation perfectly, that people think with the voice in the mind with the skull. On reverse psychology, you can see in DNA evidence and daily study research, because 93% of Western civilization dies from stress-related diseases every day, 7 by murder and by accident, which means they're not living in their primal state. They're not free. They're not free. No liberation. Not reborn. Only a handful of people in the Western civilization knows how to use their natural organic motor skills and have faith in their biological genes to be in that image and use those tools. And they're the ones chosen at the moment. The ones that are genuinely reborn and use their natural organic motor skills to think instinctively, not mentally. They don't rely on those tools. And anyone else that relies on any other tools and any other belief system is controlled by a voice in their mind, and that's Baal. That's their forefathers' footsteps, and they follow their forefathers' footsteps through Babylon, the beast, with greed, power, temptation, money, materials, and control every aspect of life, can't stand their own 2 feet known sovereignty, can't even consume the right products, blame everyone else for what they put in their own mouth. Right? Blame everyone else. Want everyone else to wipe their own ass and depend on the whole system. Greed, power, and temptation and control every aspect of their life. And they're capitalist pigs, and they wanted free will and they got it. And that's what caused all this. Their free will is what they got with Babylonian beasts, modern technology with modern gadgets with images. Take a look at every 40-year-old, right? They get high in their own supply from Dormants being on social media platform. Every American's recorded to be on social media platform 3 hours a day. Up to 70% on 8 hours a day. Can you understand how fucked up they really are? They're the most fucked up human beings in the world. And the people in the streets are the only ones right now suffering the consequences and knowing we're in the wrong mindset and standing up against the whole bureaucratical system, their capitalism behavior and all their modern technology and all the bullshit they believe in this world. It's the people in the streets with street wisdom, right? The Bibles were written on street wisdom with moral values in the right place. They weren't written by fucking bureaucratical idiots or fucking any of these atheist cocksuckers or any of their fucking religions neither. They're all controlled by Baal. And you don't need to be Einstein to work that out. God wouldn't work with any of these fucking morons that uses all these tools. You know what a Christianity is all about? Having a relationship with the 8 tools of righteousness. And when you're not on that page, you've got no fucking idea what you're doing. The world's crazy. Declared in 1999. Accelerating. Right? 5 times worse by 219. Accelerating 7 times faster. Confirmed. Rock solid. Rock solid. Mental disorders and defects going through the fucking roof. Judgmental, egotistical, substandard behavior. Who do you think's free from all this? Huh? Who do you think's got liberation and freedom? Not many. And 99% of people don't listen to the ones that have. They don't listen to the ones chosen. That brings people back to the primal state to be free from all this BS. Because the world's full of BS. It's about faith. It's about believing. It's about love. That's what the meaning of life is. Understanding the resurrection that you didn't know any better and nor does anyone else. So you've got to stick your head through the light at the end of the tunnel to understand that. And you realise the sun's a lot shiny and the last grass a lot greener. Then you wake up and realise you didn't know any better. And nor does anyone else when you look back in the cave, the tunnel that you're on the conveyor belt, heading to the light of the end of the tunnel, right? So how many people stuck their head through the light of the end of the tunnel, been dead, crossed over to another dimension, come back? Have you? Do you have the experience to cross over and die and come back? I do. But you think you know better, do you? Really? I was designed for this moment, and I have the biggest success rate in the world with curing people from the human conditioning and going back to the primal state in the image you created and using those tools. Believe me, you can do what I can and more. And if you don't have faith in that, you're fucked. End of story. So you can do what you like. But trust me, my videos go fucking viral. Because people can feel that in their DNA. They can feel a fatherly loving them in the ways that they're meant to be loved. With genuine loyalty, honor, respect, moral inspiration, encouragement. Not quantum mechanics. Not frequency and vibration, because they're coded in your DNA. Right? That's what gives you the inspiration and encouragement to be confronting and stand up for what the truth. And they allow the truth to set you free with those tools. And no other tools are required. Believe me, when your principality's in the right place, God gives you the God-given power. And you're so high, man, that you feel the liberation. You're so high that you have the power. You are not afraid of nothing. No weapon formed against you can prosper. Nor can any fucking idiot that uses any inverted tools, right, from an atheist tools. Trust me. That's the confidence that God gives you. That's the love He gives you. So you feel that right deep down in your DNA, and nothing No weapon formed against you can prosper. I can guarantee you that.